back to Tactics Talk with Guido. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. I've got Silver 6284 from my clan or sub-clan of Cartel Elite. He's in his Tier 9 Mauschen German heavy, super heavy tank. And he is loaded in here to Lakeville. And you can see that he is headed off to the east side. And we're seeing how this game is already developing by taking a look at that. He's top tier in a 357. This is going to be a very permissive environment, as I call it, for a Mauschen. His only competition, really, to be honest, is the Centurion 7-1 and the T10. Of course, getting hammered by Artie here and there as well, or getting swarmed by some of the smaller tanks. Those are the only things he really has to worry too much about. But already you can see his Tier 9 M46 Patton buddy has gone off to the valley for some unknown reason, as well as a T26 E5 and a Leo. There's a TD way back in the corner, a T29 not really moving, a Sturv anchoring on the road, and then the rest of them are headed over in various directions towards the east. Is a pretty typical deployment for Lakeville, and it's a pretty typically bad deployment for Lakeville. What's going through the minds of the M46 and the T26 and now the T29 is, oh, we're hold down turret fighters, so we go down to the hold down turret fighting spot, which is this little tiny alleyway where we can get nuked by 3 artillery. Holy cow, just a little support in this Mauschen eats up every single thing in the town. And then they can make their decision about whether to come back or to push through. But as it is, he spends a little bit of time there, Silver, kind of paying attention to what's going on the road. Your one job in life is to get this big slow tank into the town, so I'd have just kept trucking the whole way. If you get a light as you go across, just take a shot on the move, don't bother stopping. Last thing you want to do is start getting shredded by the Scorpion and other things into that big billboard side of yours. One of them tracks you, you fix it, artillery hits you, you're tracked again, and next thing you know, you have very few hit points or you're dead. To your credit, though, you did fade to the right to get as far away from those guys as possible, and now you are trucking on into town. And you can see that since it took so long, holy cow, we got a Mod 1 and a T10 coming through right here. So we'll take a look. One thing I will say about stopping here is you do need to be careful that you are far enough behind this ridge, and you were. You don't want to stop back here in this open area and let them get shots on your side. In addition to that, it's exposed to artillery over there, and potentially, depending on the arc of the artillery, you could be exposed here as well. So I might have actually tucked a little left, just protected myself a little bit there. And foolishly, the Mod 1 moves up. A little bit of dodging, a little bit of jinking and jiving just to spoil any kind of shot you might have. He does not load gold, so that's going to have a hard time pinning nearly anywhere other than a few weak spots. The T20 gets a little crazy and pushes in there a little bit early. It looks like you're trying to get in there to support him a little bit, but he's dead already, so that was a little bit early. The good news is that Sturv S1 up there is going to start laying waste to these guys as they attempt to push around into you, and they don't have a lot of good choices here. Just kind of a poor overall push on their part. They either needed to get into you, swarm you and kill you, or back off so that they didn't get hammered from the side by the Sturv and the M4190 GF, and they're just getting eaten alive by those guys. So nice job just keeping them lit, keeping them busy, keeping them from really getting around the corner. Definitely I would have killed that guy because he's kind of dangerous being able to get around behind me. And then the big fatty tries to get in here. I may have zoomed out a little bit and attempted to be a little bit more armor for that T25/2. I don't advocate giving yourself up just to save somebody in a pub game, but if you can fairly easily keep them from taking a hit they don't need to take, or keep them alive and keep their gun in the game, that's usually worth something. Come around the corner here. Might have shot right into that V and then kept going. See, their 4190 GF is going to be a bit of a thorn in your side over there. Hits you in the side. And good job pushing into these buildings. And I would have definitely taken that shot on the run, absolutely, like you just did. Kill that guy. I think something that people fail to do correctly with the Mauschen or misunderstand is it actually reloads fairly quickly for a super heavy. I mean, it's definitely a long reload, but it's nothing on the lines of some of the, like a JPZ or something like that. And I see people mistime that constantly. And now it's just time to push into these guys and eat them alive. You look over there, there's still the stalemate. Fortunately, they sent their Centurion 7-1 to be stupid over in the valley as well. So good on them. And this poor guy, he's just trapped and hating life right here. Your M449L did nothing but snipe. Would have been fantastic had he come up with you. You'd been done with this city much earlier had he been pushing with you, but he's back there playing sniper boy. It's possible he dropped some damage on some of those guys that were messing with you. Your scout goes up the middle, gets you some lights, and it's still just a ridiculous cluster in the valley. Finally, your guys sort of push, but one of them dies, and that's just typical, guys. If you're watching this video and you still believe for some reason that going valley is a good idea, let me just disabuse you of that idea right here. Just stop going valley. And the thing is, it's not that I don't think that the flank needs to be watched. There's always going to be some stupid person over there. Don't make it be you. Right? So go where the fight is important. Let the stupid people go to the useless flanks. You know what I mean? And if every now and again you get a game where nobody goes valley and the enemy team does this hard rush in there and you're just not quite able to stop them from capping, so be it, man. That is so far and few between. You're trying to fight the high percentage fight. Find a little bit of revenge on the GF. The T-25-2 has pushed 2, and he's having a pretty good time shredding through your armor right now with this 8 PCR, but you got a lot of hit points to give. It's going to take him a long time to kill you, and he's now a one-shot to you. I said, yep, I agree with this. Just drive into this guy and let him have it. One of the problems with a very long rear-turreted tank is the front of your tank will come around the corner before you do, and in that case he was actually able to shoot you before your spotting points got a hold of him, but that's alright. You know where he is. He's hiding up in here. You're either going to find him backing down the road or proximity spot him in here. And while he fought this pretty well, I'm not really sure what his idea here was. I think he got hung up on the terrain there, and you're able to take him down as he's stuck. I just stopped right here and looked for that artillery instead of kept on driving, because there you go. And I noticed this a couple times, Silver, and this is just going to be for getting familiar with maps, SA and map awareness, terrain awareness, that kind of thing as you play the game more. You spent a lot of time down here, I want to say it was about K4 or 5, looking at a rock. There was a guy over here, but there was a big rock there. So you got to know that you could see it, I think, in your gun sight. At least I could, and I'm not sure what your resolution is or what your rig is. So there can be some of that kind of thing going on. Your own eyesight, lots of different things can happen right there. But if your gun line's going through a big rock, then there's no reason to continue to look for it. I knew right here that there was probably a way to see that artillery, so that's why I said I had to stop back there. And it's all those kind of little things. For example, you saw the little notch in the 2 buildings that you shot the mill through. That was good right there, so that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Looks like pretty much a fairly easy win. Looks like your push in the valley actually got through. But again, it goes back to what I was saying. The important fight was down here. And let's say your valley guys lost. They mauled those guys and they end up losing anyway. So what? You turn around, come back, clean them up. Alright guys, I hope you like what you saw. Hope you learned a little something in here. Silver Knights game overall. This is an ace tanker. 3,972. Bunch of damage blocked. 1,552 assisted. So nice job. Good game. And as always, we will see you.